Are you thinking about living and working in Japan as an English teacher? Today I'm going to interview my brother about experience about being an ALT and an Eikaiwa teacher. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel today. Today we have my brother, Garrison, and he worked in Japan and he taught English for about, what, 2.5 years? So from maybe like 2019 to 2021, he was working in Japan. At first, maybe you can talk about it. Where did you live first and for how long?
I first got recruited out of Hawaii, and then I moved to Ibaraki, Japan. It was actually like in the middle of nowhere, so
How long did it take you to get to the city?
2.5 hours and four different trains.
Nice. And what were you doing there?
I was a ALT, Assistant Language Teacher. I think that's what it stands for. And pretty much you go school and you teach so many classes. The company I work for had me go to 3 different schools, grades 1 through 6, and then I would just drive to the school that I need to go to that week.
So what was kind of your schedule, Monday through Friday?
Yeah, Monday to Friday, I think 8 to 2 ish, and then on Wednesdays it was shorter because it was only like they had like meetings and they had all the classes in the morning, so I could go home. Or was it Monday? Maybe it was Monday. Yeah.
And then would you get breaks and school breaks and stuff for winter break, spring break?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I had like the normal school breaks. They started in April, so it was kind of weird to like go because I showed up in February, but then they were gonna go on break soon, and then they started the school year in April.
Nice.
Yeah.
And were there any things that you thought were challenging or hard or that you wish you knew before, or if you could recommend or not recommend doing this kind of profession for other people who are thinking about being an ALT?
I think it's easy to get a visa because those companies know what they're doing in order to get a visa, but you can't do any other job, and it's very hard to switch to another job. So, if you want to work in Japan and just work a job, that's the easiest way to do it. But if you want a higher paying job or one that's like in the city, uh, I would encourage you to look um, at as many different opportunities as possible.
Do you feel like the pay was satisfactory? You could like kind of support yourself, and what kind of benefits did you get at your job?
I think I get paid $1,200 a month USD,
はあ
and they had full control over my visa and my paycheck. So if they didn't want to give me a paycheck that month, they didn't give me one.
Did you have a lot of months that you didn't get paid?
Yes.
How many would you say?
At least 3.
So a fourth of the time.
Yep.
It's not great.
Yeah.
And then how long did you work there?
I think I left. It was about a year, I think. 9, 10 months. Then I moved to Tokyo.
So after you moved back to Tokyo, what did you do, and what kind of job did you change to?
I changed to a Eikaiwa company, and this company is a little bit different because the hours are set Monday through Friday, and then
What days of the week did you work?
actually I was off Sunday, Monday. So I started Tuesday, and then I went straight through to Saturday, and Tuesday through Friday was 12 to 9, and Saturday was 10 to 7.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you feel like the pay was better at that company, being an Eikaiwa teacher? And I guess what did you like for being an Eikaiwa versus ALT?
Better. What does better mean? I mean, it was more. I don't know if it was that much better, but it wasn't like the amount of money I made was enough for me to survive there.
How much were you getting at that company?
275,000, I think, a month. And they took my rent right out of my paycheck because the only way to get an apartment in Japan is if someone vouches for you. So it has to be a person, has to be a relative, or a company. And this one was a company sponsored apartment. So they just took like $550 ish out of my paycheck every month.
What about like your utilities? Did you have to pay that yourself?
Yeah, paid it myself.
So did you pay at like a kombini or something? Or?
Yeah, it just came in the mail. And then if you forgot to pay, well,
もちろんです。
tough. You're not gonna get anything. So
Nice.
mhm.
And then did you get breaks for lunch? So say you, or snack break. Like what was kind of the daily schedule like? And then how does the kind of teaching work? So did you just do like hour sessions per student?
It depends who you take over. So there's like established teachers who are there all the time, and then they have like foreign teachers who come in and they have a certain schedule. So the Japanese teachers teach Japanese classes, and the foreign teachers teach, I guess, the remainder of them mixed with like the other types of classes. Like you have kids ones, you have vocabulary, you have private, you have yeah, it's kind of a mix. So you have to just hope that you get a good schedule with good students because that's your students for the year.
Nice. And how many coworkers did you have? Like, were there a lot of foreign teachers? And kind of what was the split, I guess, between how many teachers versus staff? And maybe if you could kind of talk about like where your school was and what part of the city you were living in.
I was in Tokyo, like on the top near Saitama, and pretty much this area was like all residential. So you have to like uh, be quiet, I guess. And I was the only one who lived like near the school, but I didn't have to take the train or the bus or anything. I just walked like 15, 20 minutes. So by the time I got there, I was like sweaty. So I had to wear separate shoes. I had to wear these like sneakers with a suit. And then afterwards, I would change into my business shoes when I would get to school.
What was the dress code when you were at work?
During the year, it was like a full suit, tie, and everything. And then when it got hot in the summer, you could switch to like a more business cash. Still has to be collared shirt, but you don't need a jacket anymore.
So if you had to pick or recommend, would you rather be an Eikaiwa teacher or would you rather be an ALT, and why?
Hmm, I would probably pick, if I had money, I would pick ALT because that one was so much easier. Um, if I didn't have money, I would pick the Eikaiwa, the conversational school, because they do everything for you. You don't have to do anything, and they help you with the visa, help you with the apartment, help you with moving in, um, helping you go to like the ward and registering, and so yeah, I feel like it's easier with the conversation school.
So would you say there was high turnover, or how long would you say typically the Eikaiwa teachers lasted? And then if people who did leave, what did they go on to do? Did a lot of them move back home like you, or did they stay in Japan?
Most people who quit after a year because the contract's about a year. They try to incentivize you by giving you a raise every year, but usually that's not enough to entice most people. There are some like people who leave within the year, like 3 to 6 months, but usually it's for a reason. They don't come all the way to Japan and they leave. They usually have like a family thing or they want to do something else.
Did anyone transition out of English teaching into like a different industry or and stayed in Japan, or did typically people stay at English teaching and then they just went home?
The ones who did transition out, they had professions already, so they were able to transition out, and they already had a visa. So they had a passport, or they had some sort of, um, I guess, a longer visa, so they're able to just change jobs.
I see. So would you recommend doing this for people that want to move to Japan?
Mm,
How would you rate your experience kind of overall? Would you do it again? Did you enjoy it, or did you kind of feel like it gave you a lot of life experience?
if I was over the age of like 35, I probably wouldn't do it. If Because I did it like 10 years ago, it was not that big of a deal because everyone likes the younger teachers. You know, you're kind of like the new person, but if you're kind of on the older side, you're kind of just like a outsider, and they probably don't think you can learn that quick. So it's kind of nice when you're younger and you can like explore and do um, different things. But if you're on the older side, I feel like it's a little bit more difficult. They're not going to be like
as welcoming or excited to see you.
Yeah,
Sort of
probably
thing.
not. Yeah, maybe the teachers, but not the kids.
Did you feel like you had like a fun lifestyle on top of English teaching?
Mm, it was okay.